Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We learn by direct experience. We learn mostly by reading or by what other people tell us, lecture us from outside sources. And sometimes we learn through direct experience by drawing conclusions of the experiences we had. So obviously, when we meet new people, we try to understand, or at least we don't try, but we simply understand the other person based on the other person's statements, body language, voice, intonation, experiences, stories, and actions. And based on all that information, as much as you can, you are going to assess a person. You want it or you don't want it. You're going to say, well, that person I think is a good person, I don't think is as good, or its level of intellect is this, or you would understand that person. I mean, it's something normal. That's how we, for instance, choose our friends, and we don't choose our friends, or you know what I mean. You're not my friend because we don't identify. I don't think you're good enough for me. I don't think we how should I put it? We click. We don't have the same. We don't share the same values, or simply I don't like you. That's basically. And how do you don't like that person? By observing that person's actions. And as I said, obviously behavior and all that, statements, body language, and all that. In this case, I have to tell you that this person that I'm going to discuss I'm going to discuss in this video, I don't really like personally, and I never met him, but by his statements, I think that he is, from all the Ukrainian leadership, I think this guy is the one that I would be very, very cautious if I had to get into relationship or into partnership this person. I mean, if you have someone as an enemy, but as a person that let's do something together, this person, I would be the most cautious dealing with him. So this person is this. And this is just a personal assessment. It's nothing, that's my feeling, let's put it this, based on his statements. And this person is none other than Alexei Danilov. I had this assessment, or repulsion from first 3 times when I read his statements on the Ukrainian news outlets. So in this case, this article comes from Ukrainska Pravda, and this is the title: Moscow starts, and I'm quoting, begging for negotiations through mediators. All right, might be so, but like always, when someone makes a claim, you would like to see the evidence, or at least that's how it used to be in our civilization. Okay, now you bring the evidence to support your claims. So I would like to see Mr. Danilov's claims. Now, not claims, evidence, facts to support his little claim. So this article comes from Ukrainska Pravda from February 6, 2023. Alexei Danilov, the Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council, NSDC, stated that Russia is beginning to, and I'm quoting, beg for negotiations through intermediaries. Yet Ukraine has set 4 simple conditions. Danilov said this in an interview with Radio NV, probably in, I don't know what it is, and probably New Voice of Ukraine, I'm guessing. Quote, Putin is giving orders to fully besiege Luhansk and Donetsk Oblast. There is no secret behind it. No, it's not. You got that right. Moreover, they are now starting to realize that they are definitely not able to reach those goals, and he's going to mention the goals, of occupying our country that they had previously set for themselves. Well, I think this is a lie, because I haven't heard anybody in the Russian leadership saying that they will conquer Ukraine and they will just occupy their country. Now, if you imply certain things, that's a different story, because I can imply a lot of things from this picture, but I will not. So that's why you have to bring evidence. Now, I disagree with him with this statement that he's trying to use, this evidence that he's trying to use, that they are definitely not able to reach those goals. And I will use my evidence as counter-argument to his lack of evidence. And how I will do that. First, but let's finish this first, so I don't just jump the gun, just knock him out before, too early. So reach those goals of occupying our country that they had previously set for themselves. I don't see any evidence for that. This is why today they are begging. So he said that because they are realizing, this is the way he's reasoning. Since the Russians started to realize that they can't occupy Ukraine, the whole country, our country is not part of it. I haven't seen anything here. Then they are starting to beg. This is why today they are begging. So this is his argument. They are involving a whole pool of intermediaries. So since they could not occupy their country, they are starting to beg. This is the evidence. This is this guy's conclusion. Okay, well, at the moment they are conducting a huge work with separate groups in order to incline them towards negotiations. They are considering Brazil and whomever you can imagine as intermediaries. And I'm quoting, let us negotiate to somehow solve this issue, end quote. Okay, well, this is his argument. The rest is just what he says, whatever their points, what they want from the Russians. But as I'm not going to deal with that because that's not the title of this article, is that Russia starts begging for negotiations. Okay, now let me provide my evidence or counter-arguments to Mr. Danilov that the Russians actually can't beg because they're not losing. And just by starting by saying that there's no evidence that the Russians want to conquer his country, part of it, yes, that's true. But even that part of it, are they succeeding or they're not succeeding? Because they start begging if they don't succeed, correct? If you succeed, you're not begging. I mean, we're still using logic here, and okay, I hope so. So let's start with the first thing here that I prepared. This is, not that one, this. This comes from Ukrainska Pravda. And this is the title. Over 8,000 people submit application to join the Offensive Guard. This is from Monday. Do you know what Offensive Guard is? The Offensive Guard is Ukrainians accepting civilians to join forces to fight the Russians. Does that sound like they're winning? This, to me, sounds like a desperation. So they will get employees and anything that moves just to join they call it Offensive Guard because that's a double speak. It's like the Ministry of Truth, you know what I mean? And Ministry of Peace. And it's not an offensive guard. I think it's a defensive guard. It says the largest number of volunteers have signed up. These volunteers did not sign up previous to today. Why is that? Because they're winning? No, I think the situation is desperate and they need to block the Russians who are coming. But you say, Emil, now it's your time to provide the evidence. Okay, well, let me see. I will use this. I will use, again, Kiev Independent, their articles. Ukraine war latest. Intelligence claims Russia likely to mobilize up to 500,000 troops to run offensive in the spring and summer. That means they have more resources and they will start an offensive, not a defensive. This is per Kiev Independent. It says Ukraine intelligence claimed on February 6, today, that Russia was prepared to mobilize 300,000 to 500,000 troops to sustain a major offensive in the Donbass and possibly in the southeastern Zaporozhye Oblast in spring and summer. So again, I don't think this is a defensive move. Okay, now let's go to a different article coming again from Ukrinform from February 7th, 2023. So I take you in the future, my friends. You are welcome. We are now on the 7th because, over there is already 7. And it was written 3 o'clock a.m. These are busy bees. So this is again from a Ukrainian media outlet. Ukrainian intelligence projects Russian offensive efforts in Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporozhye regions. So offensive is not defensive. All right, you say, well, whatever. And the same information here that they are planning to get 500,000 people. The Russian offensive may be launched in Donetsk, Luhansk, and Zaporozhye region, as reported by Vadim Skibitsky. All right, now we say, well, it's not enough. But okay, let's see this. All right, let's see the map. So this is Ukraine right here. And this color, like a red kind of color, I don't know what color, like a brick color. This is what the Russian invaders already occupied, you know. And the whatever that is, purple, is things that were held or gained by Ukraine about 4 months ago. Since then, nothing happened there. They're still fighting, okay? Now here is where the Russians are conducting offensive operations, right here. Luhansk, Donetsk. And they will go to Zaporozhye right here. And this comes from Institute of Study of War as of February 1st at 9 o'clock GMT, 2100. And by the way, Institute of Study of War is a Washington, D.C. think tank, which is 100% with Ukraine, I got to learn. So these guys are providing this map where they show this already taken by those evil Russians through military action. Now put this together with the articles I said here. I put this together with with this guy who's just trying to get more people. Get with this one together, and you tell me if these guys are losing here, and they are planning to get 500,000 more, I don't know, personnel out of about 30 million that they could probably easily get as a general mobilization. So this, I would say, idiot talks nonsense. Now, if Russia is begging for negotiations, I think it's not because they're losing. It could be something else. I will not give you the answer. Because if I give you the answer, I could be, already, I think I am, accused of this and that and this and that. But you tell me, based on this evidence, whatever I provided to you, and I used only Ukrainian media outlets and the American think tank, which is on that side of the aisle. So I think this guy, Danilov, I don't know if he's dumb, if he's just, man, I don't want to say evil. I don't know, like, or both. Because you can't say that and argue with non-evidence. So he's claiming that because Russians realized, this is his argument, Russians realized they can't conquer our country, then they start begging. All right, let me give you another scenario. Crazy scenario, I know. Maybe they just want to save lives and they want to stop this war. Is it possible? No. You know why? Danilov might say, because they're evil. And evil people don't do that, okay? So end of conversation. Emil, get out now. So imagine this being your boss. And he would tell you, hey, Gigi, do this. And you say, well, Mr. Danilov, I don't think it's impossible. If I go that way, there's like 1,000 Russians ready to shoot my ass. No, there's no Russian over there. I tell you there's no Russian. Why? Because they're cowards and they will not dare to shoot you. But go, Emil, go by yourself. They're not going to shoot you. But Mr. Danilov, there, I can see them right there. They're pointing their rifles. I can see their barrels, the little black dot. They will not shoot. They're cowards, Emil. I'm telling you that. Where's your evidence? Just go. Well, that's your boss. I don't want that boss. Anyway, I keep an eye, just one, like a cyclop, on this guy, like this. Because this guy proved to me that, as I said, he's, I don't want to use, it's just a guy who makes me feel very ready, if you know what I mean. Guard up all the time and knee up so he can't kick you in the balls. All right? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.